Jai Hind all. Myself Amita Asthana from AKGC Ghaziabad. In today's video lecture, we will be studying about the topic, that is signal system, and the topic would be the calculation of inverse Z transform. Okay, so let us consider one question and how to calculate the inverse Z transform, that we will understand. So for finding out the inverse Z transform, let us suppose we are given the xz in this form. First part is to understand in which form the xz is given. Also, we need to consider for the region of convergence. As we can see, there are in this question some negative powers of z and some positive powers of z. So this system which is being given, that is non-causal, obviously. This is a non-causal system which has been given. For a non-causal system, how to calculate the inverse Z transform? As we know, we are having the formulae for calculation of the Z transform, that is xz is summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity xn z raised to the power minus n. So this particular example is given in this form. Okay. So if I can convert this equation in this form, I can just write this and I can solve it. So here, okay. So here z of minus z of minus 1 raised to the power 3, the coefficient is 1, okay, and similar way plus 2, okay, z raised to the power minus 1, the power is again, since it is a positive power, minus 2, okay, and similar way we can have this z raised to the power minus 1 power minus 1, the coefficient is 1, like this. So in a very simple way, we can just calculate this particular inverse Z transform like see, this is like sequence z cube plus 2z square plus z. Okay, this is at n is equal to minus 1, this is at n is equal to minus 2, this is at n is equal to minus 3 plus 1 at n is equal to 0 minus or plus of 1, okay, plus of minus 2, sorry, minus 2 z raised to the power z raised to the power minus 1 for n is equal to 1, that this is minus 1. Similar way, plus of minus 3 z raised to the power minus 1 at n is equal to 2 and so on, plus of 4 z raised to the power minus 1 at n is equal to 3. So here this all are the powers at n is equal to minus 3, because these are, since in the formula here the powers of negative are being given, and minus 3 multiplied by minus 3 minus 1 multiplied by minus 2 minus 1 multiplied by minus 1, and hence I can write in this way. So the points of xn will automatically coming out to be, the sequence for xn will be we can directly write from here that first, okay, and 2 and 1, the 1 comma minus 2 minus 3 and 4, minus 2 minus 3 and 4. Okay. So this is how we can write the sequence directly by having this form of xz. To verify this particular, to verify if I apply the formula xz for n is equal to summation, where this will be at 0, okay, summation n is equal to minus 3 to n is equal to plus 3 xn z raised to the power minus n. If I put all these value, I will be getting the same xz, that this will be 1 into z raised to the power 3 plus 2 into z raised to the power 2 plus 1 into z raised to the power 1 plus z raised to the power 0 into 1 minus 2 z raised to the power 1 minus 3 z raised to the power minus 2 and plus 4 z raised to the power minus 3. So we can get the sequence directly by just comparing the coefficient with the ideal equation. So this is how we can perform the inverse z transform for calculation of xn. So xn we can directly write in this form if the xz is given strictly for this particular equation. Now next, now we are having the inverse z transform calculation problem as xz is equal to 1 upon z minus a. Okay, this is another kind of problem that you may get, and where ROC is defined as mod z greater than a. Mod z greater than a means, let us have the ROC for this, and this will be the circle of radius a, and the ROC is obviously outside the a, right? So for this particular kind of problem, what is required? So we will expand this. We need to expand. Why to expand? Because I want to convert it in this form, only the numerator form with some positive power of z and some negative power of z. So if the logarithmic function is given, we need to write the logarithmic expansion. If the normal function is given, we can write down the Taylor series and all. So we will convert and expand this 1 upon z minus a, we will expand. Now expanding, after expanding I am getting this particular form. So how I am getting this form, as we will understand, just take the z outside and I will have this as z inverse upon, okay, z inverse upon 1 minus a z inverse, right? And this will be z inverse 1 minus a z inverse power minus 1. if I convert it in this form, then actually I can write the series for the given function, and that would be 1 plus a z inverse plus a square z raised to the power minus 2 and so on, and by multiplying through z inverse in the with the all the terms. So I get the expansion in this form, that is z inverse plus a z raised to the power minus 2 a square z minus 3, just to expand this particular series expansion we will apply, and we can get this result. Now after getting this result, as we can see, the powers of A are positive. The ROC being outside the circle of radius A. So the thing is, we need to write a raised to the power n minus 1, because what is the use of ROC here? The ROC simply represents the system for which I am taking the Z transform, that is causal. And if it is causal, then it should be defined for only the negative power values of Z. And also we are having after expanding, we are having all the negative powers of Z, and that is the advantage. So if I am taking the xz for this one, then we can directly have xn to be equal to a raised to the power n minus 1 u n minus. This is how we can get the sequence xn, and inverse Z transform can be written. So this is the IZT for the given transfer function for the given xz. So there are basically 4 methods for calculation of inverse Z transform. All we will see one by one. First method is power series expansion. Second method is partial fraction. And the third method, which is obviously it is of greatest use, and this particular method is important and can be applied to calculate all the IZTs for the given functions or xz. And fourth method is the convolution integral method. So let us understand all the methods one by one, and what are the advantages and disadvantages of these all 4 methods. So the first one is power series or long division method. Whenever the xz is given in some sort of numerator upon denominator, we will perform the long division method. Okay, so this is one which is very important. So let us consider one example where xz is given as z square plus 2z upon z cube minus 3z square plus 4z plus 1. And also the ROC is being defined as mod z greater than 1. That means the ROC is the outside the unit circle of radius 1. So this is the ROC for this particular function. So which method I will apply? So I will apply this power series or long division method, as I am given the function in term of nz upon dz. So for this method, I need the function in this form nz upon dz. Okay. So for nz upon dz, the region of convergence is mod z greater than 1, and if it is greater than 1, it is lying outside the circle, the system must be causal, and the sequence, whatever sequence I am getting, that should be causal in nature. Okay. So let us perform this long division method. So here this is z raised to the power 3. So I will just multiply it by z raised to the power minus 1, and I will perform this as z raised to the power 2 minus 3 z raised to the power z. One power will be subtracted, plus 4 plus z inverse. Okay. Like this, minus plus minus. So this term will be cancelled out. I will have this 5z Okay, so this is minus 4 minus Z inverse. Again, I will be this one. So that will be 5Z minus 15. Okay, and then 5 into 4 plus 20 plus 20 Z inverse plus 5Z raised to the power minus 2. So I will be subtracting like the normal division method. So this term will be cancelled out. Okay, and hence I will repeat this process. While repeating this process, this is a very long division method, and as I can see here, the power of Z raised to the power minus 2, this term is introduced, and after that this term is introduced at calculating this particular process, Z raised to the power minus 3, minus 4 and so on will be repeating all the time. So at the final, I will have this form, and this form came by applying the long division technique. So my target is complete for converting it to xz, that is summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity xn Z raised to the power minus n, and here the n is from obviously from 1 to infinity. So here this xz I can write as from n is equal to 1 to infinity, and this sequence obviously I will be writing as 1, 5, 11, 12, minus 13 up to infinity Z raised to the power minus n, and minus 1 for this, minus 2 for this, minus 3 for this, and so on. So at the end I can write the sequence as 1, 5, 11, 12, minus 13 and so on, and the sequence obviously, since the sequence is causal, so this is very important point. At the last I will be writing the result. So xn will be 1, 5, 11, 12, minus 13 and so on up to infinity, and starting for n is equal to 1. Okay, for n is equal to 1 and 2 so on. Okay, so this is how we can calculate, and as the values are defined only for positive, so I can say this is a causal sequence. And since the ROC was already given and this particular criteria is also being followed for calculation of the original causal sequence. Now the 4 methods which we are using, let us discuss these methods. The long division method, as I told, it's a simple method and we can convert the function in numerator and denominator. But the drawback of this long division method is that it can be used when the ROC is defined whether in this form or in this form. This is very important point, because when the sequence is either right-sided, then we can apply the long division method, or if the sequence is left-sided, we can apply this for the sequence. So power series or long division method is only applicable to the unilateral signals or sequence, more specifically for the discrete domain, I can say this is applicable for unilateral sequence. So power series is not applicable to the bilateral sequences. So for those xz where ROC is defined as mod of z greater than alpha or mod of z less than alpha, then only we can apply this method. Otherwise, we are not able to apply this particular method for calculation of the inverse z transform. And now coming up to the second method, which is partial fraction expansion. Okay. So when we are interested to calculate the partial fraction expansion method, so we need to have xz in the proper form. That means where the denominator we are able to factorize. Only there we can apply the partial fraction method. So the second technique is depending on xz to be in this form, where we can well factorize the denominator part. So second technique is also not applicable to all the xz's. Now coming up to the third method, which is important and it is really applicable to all xz. Now what's that? Let us understand. The residue method. The residue method is calculated by calculating the residues of xz, okay, into zn minus 1 at the poles inside C or inside the circle. Okay, so how to calculate these residues, that is important. See here, we are having this xn as summation I z minus zi xz z raised to the power minus n for z is equal to zi. Okay. Some poles may repeat, some poles are not repeating, and then how to calculate the residue? If the poles are different with each other, the residues are important, and if they are not repeating, then we need to calculate the residues in the proper manner. So here, as we have this xn is equal to 1 upon 2 pi j, okay, contour C, xz z raised to the power n minus 1 dz 1 upon 2 pi j. So all the xn, how to calculate? So one more formula is there, as I have written the calculation of residue. See here, this is 1 upon k minus 1 factorial if for the repeated poles I am talking. And if the repeated poles, let's say 1 upon x minus 1 square is here, then the value of k will be obviously 2, and we will calculate the residue by applying this formula 1 upon k minus 1 factorial dk minus 1 upon dz k minus 1. That is, if k is equal to 2, then we have to differentiate only once. And z minus zi will be here considering 1, and k is equal to 2 minus 1. Okay, xz we will write in the same form. We will differentiate the xz as many as times the poles are repeating. Okay, so z raised to the power n minus 1 we will be writing, and then we will have this z is equal to zi. The thing is, whatever the value is being written, see here, since xn is given as 1 upon 2 pi j contour C xz z raised to the power n minus 1 dz. So all the xn are defined by the residues of xz z raised to the power n minus 1 at the pose inside C. Whatever the form the xz is given, whether it is in numerator upon denominator form, whether it is in any form, whether it is in partial fraction expansion, just looking at the pose and the repeating pole values, that the residues can be calculated and we can get the sequence, which is the inverse Z transform for the given xz. Now the fourth property as I have already told, that power series long division method only applicable to the unilateral sequences. Partial fraction nz upon dz complex, this is applicable to all, but only point is to take care of the residues calculation. And then the next part is the convolution integral method. This particular part requires if xz in the form of x1z into x2z. This is must for the calculation of this particular method. That means uses convolution property, and the convolution property says the x1n convolution of x2n in Z transform, we can take x1z into x2z. That means we need to calculate IZT differently for x1z and x2z. So this is the convolution property statement. So I need to calculate for x1z first. After that I will calculate the x1n and x2n like this, and only then I can calculate write for the x1z and x2z the sequences corresponding to the x1z and x2z. So next part is, whenever I am performing the convolution property, I need to take care of the defined ROCs. So if the two functions are multiplying, the ROCs or ROCs will be different for the multiplication method. So we need to take care for the ROC when we are applying to the convolution method technique. For out of these four techniques, this particular method is very useful for the calculation of IZT. Thank you.